ब्रह्मणे नमः। ॐ महेश्वराय नमः। ॐ विष्णवे नमः। ॐ ताण्डवे नमः। ॐ भरताय नमः। ॐ अभिनवगुप्तपादाचार्याय नमः। ॐ सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ प्रणम्य शिरसा देवो पितामहमहेश्वरो नाट्यशास्त्रं प्रवक्ष्यामि ब्रह्मणा यदुदाहृतम्।
अंचितेन तु पादेन रेचितौ तु करो यदा उन्मत्तं करणं तत्तु विज्ञेयं वृत्तकोविदैः.
According to experts in dance, Unmattam is that Karana in which the foot is in Anchita, hand is in Rechita.
Abhinavagupta gives Avidhachari for this.
Yeah. So Abhinava's interpretation is Avidha. Here the Kumbhakonam figure shows a sideward movement, and it looks like a very violent movement in the side. The right foot has already landed, the force of which automatically gives rise to the lifting of the left foot, almost raising, slightly raising. So we have to lift the leg and drop. So this gives another
violent
interpretation.
movement.
Very violent and ferocious movement.
Yes, here three interpretations are given. Tanjavur figure seems to follow Bharata directly. It may or may not have followed the opinion of including the Avidhachari, because we just see the Anchita of the leg.
Actually, Tanjavur doesn't follow Abhinavagupta at all.
Almost contemporaries.
They are contemporaries. So there is no question of
Yes.
Abhinavagupta being. We don't know about Shankuka or any other earlier.
Natyashastra commentators.
We don't know, but
Abhinavagupta is not seriously
Tanjavur has its own beauty.
Yes.
Its own grandeur, and it's such a big loss that it is not a complete series.
But unfortunately, even the commentaries of Shankuka, Udbhata, Lollata are not available now. Apart from Abhinavagupta, even there some of the portions are not available.
Here in Tanjavur, we see in Mandalasthana just one heel as Anchita with Rechita Hasta. So according to this, it will be like just placing the foot as Anchita and moving forward. Without that, so this could be one interpretation. The second interpretation in Chidambaram is probably suggesting the Avidhachari because of the raised waist. The whirling of the Hamsapaksha hand synchronizes with the swastika, and then lifting of the foot, spreading of the hands as Rechita, and dropping the foot. So this shows the Avidhachari on the left. So this is another interpretation. The Kumbhakonam figure suggests forceful movement. Abhinavagupta interprets Anchita of the foot as Avidha. But the same Anchita foot is also involved in Pashvakrantachari, which is a little more violent than Avidha. So what we do is, after landing the foot on the heel, the frontal part of the sole does Tadita. The alternate foot gets lifted. This is the stage which is seen in Kumbhakonam figure. And then you raise and drop. So this forceful movement is one more interpretation for same Unmatta. And because the uses are to show pride due to wealth, fortune, beauty and so on, this forceful movement also helps give the emotion.
Pride because of valor and wealth.
Tarinta,
Karana 14, Unmattam. Satara's Devi figure shows the beginning of Avidhachari with the right foot flapped above the left knee in Mandalasthana. The hands are near the chest, showing the beginning of Rechita. Shiva's figure portrays the stage before the right leg lands on the ground with the forward thrust. The secondary hands show the beginning of Rechita, while the primary hands depict the final stage. We have the Unmatta, Karana and Prambanan sculptures. Figure 1 of Prambanan has the right foot crossed in front and the right side is bent as Nrtta, with the right arm bent as Kunchita near the shoulder. This shows the beginning of the leg movement as for Avidhachari. The left side of figure 3 is missing. From the fragment of leg and hand on the right, we can perceive Avidhachari with beginning of Rechita hand, though the elbow is still in Kunchita form. The main figure, that is figure 2, shows the right arm now proceeding as Anchita with the elbow lifted, which is required for the course of Rechita. This figure has the right knee lifted with the weight balanced on the left foot. The torso is beautifully bent on the left. This position allows a greater force for a forward thrust. The left hand of the main figure of Prambanan is seen as Dola. The next stage is seen in Satara Shiva. While Satara Devi portrays the Sukumara Prayoga, Prambanan and Satara Shiva figures and the Kumbakonam figures portray the Uddhata Prayoga or the forceful application of the same movement. Those who are initiated in Karanas call that Karana Swastikam, in which both the hands and feet are crossed. This is what is given. Abhinavagupta says that the left hand, after doing Udveshtita, is crossed in front by the hand that does Vyavarta.
Yes, he says Udveshtita Vartana Vamahastau Nishkramasya Nishkasya Vyavartitasya Karana Samakalam Utplutya Yugapadeva Hastapadasya Swastikam Rachayet. Simultaneously it has to be done.
Yes. And because all the three figures, sculptures are in Mandalasthana.
Mandalasthana Swastika.
In Mandalasthana. This is how all the three figures are. So in the practical reconstruction we have, following the sculptures, from which we come to know that the Pada Swastika involves Kunchita foot also to enhance the beauty. So we have a jerky placement of the foot and then turning of the sole as Kunchita. So with the hands, and we release as Viprakirna. Again this left. Because this Kunchita has Pada enhances the beauty of the movement.
And the Viprakirna hands movement is very well
synchronized
with the
Viprakirna. With the Kunchita.
Pada movement.
Releasing the cross of the feet with Kunchita.
That will be gradual. So this will also be gradual.
So this is one more Karana where we see that the sculptures help a little,
Yes.
but the sutra doesn't.
Yes.
Neither does Abhinavagupta.
Abhinavagupta has to be relayed. So we cannot have something like Ekamulika Nyaya. Only one herb and one medicine. That takes so many sources and do it.
Karana 15, Swastikam. We'll see the Satara sculptures. Both the figures show crossing of the feet and of the hands in Mandalasthana. Devi's feet are balanced on the toes and hands are crossed. Shiva's left foot is in Parshva and the right is crossed in front as Kunchita, marking the transition between the actions on both sides. The secondary hands show the process of releasing the cross. The movement is performed as follows. The left hand does Udveshtita, gets crossed in front of the right hand, which does Vyavarta. This cross must synchronize with the cross of the feet, obtained through a light jump on the toes. After this, a jerky flat placement of the foot at the back is performed with a simultaneous turning of the sole in the front upwardly.
विक्षिप्ताक्षिप्त बाहुभ्यां स्वस्तिकौ चरणौ यदा अपक्रांतार्ध सूचिभ्यां तत्पृष्ठस्वस्तिकं भवेत्.
When the arms are Vikshipta and Akshipta, along with the feet moving as Swastika, Apakranta and Ardha Suchi, it is called Prishta Swastika. Abhinavagupta clarifies Vikshipta and Akshipta of the hands as denoting Udveshtita and Apaveshtita Hasta Karanas.
Yes.
Apakranta Chari is performed with Udveshtita hands. This is followed by Suchi Chari with the Apaveshtita Hasta Karana. The entire body turns backwards through the twisting of the sacrum. Here again, hand is not
Chinna.
mentioned. You finish.
Abhinavagupta clearly gives the sequence. Tenetham suyojana उद्वेष्टित क्रिया बाहुद्वय विक्षेप समकालम अपक्रांताचारी तथा अपवेष्टित करण समकालम द्वितीयेन पादेन सूचिं विधाय स्वस्तिकं पादाभ्यां तथा हस्ताभ्यां कुर्यादिति पृष्ठे पाश्चात्ये समे यत् स्वस्तिकं तथा दक्षिणपृष्ठे वामपादेन स्वस्तिकं त्रिकवलनया च पराङ्मुखी भूय स्वस्तिकमिति पृष्ठस्वस्तिकं. Complete course, Abhinav.
So you are happy with this reconstruction?
Not just with one.
So it starts with Apakranta Chari.
So faithfully, letter by letter, syllable by syllable, Abhinav Gupta's Yojana sequence has given a very vivid description. Exactly. So when the sources are perfect, it will be so easy to reconstruct.
So here she says that
Easy to you, Akka.
Amma.
Not to others.
at the end, the Swastika Pada is synchronized with the Swastika Hastas, she says. So-
At the back.
So we do the Apakranta, then Suchi Chari, then Chinna, finishes with Swastika of the legs and the hands. From behind again we can come forward. We finish. So this is Prishta Swastika. Karana 16, Prishta Swastikam. Devi's figure in Satara portrays the beginning of the Apakrantachari with Apaveshtita Hasta. Shiva's figure has two hands hanging down, showing the action prior to reaching the swastika point. The other two hands are in front of the chest, with the whole body turned backwards, with the feet crossed and the face seen in profile on the right. For this Karana, Apakrantachari is performed on one side, with one leg with the hands stretched out for Udveshtita. This is followed by Suchi Chari on the other leg with Apaveshtita hands. The former leg is placed as Agratala, slightly behind the other foot. The Swastika Pada is performed with Swastika Hastas. This is followed by the Chinna type of turning backwards. When the Agratala foot is placed flat, then the other foot becomes Agratala in a crossed position. We again have this Karana codified in Prambanan. In relation to Satara panel, the Prambanan relief works out a beautiful animation for the whole movement. It proceeds as the posture seen in Satara Devi. And then comes the Prambanan first sculpture, followed by Prambanan third sculpture, then Satara Shiva, and finishes with the second sculpture in Prambanan. The Prambanan first sculpture has the right leg crossed as Agratala in front. The hands show the end of Udveshtita and Apaveshtita near the thigh. The third figure suggests the end of the action of the left leg by getting landed as swastika in front after stretching action is over. The main figure suggests the end of chinna of the waist by turning back. The waist raised on the right clearly indicates this. As in Satara Shiva, the course of Apaveshtita of hands is seen like Dola. The Satara Shiva and the main Prambanan figure have an amazing similarity, proving the authenticity of this reconstruction.
Now we shall move to the 17th Karana Swastikam. Parshvayor Agrataschaiva Yatra Shlishta Karo Bhavet Swastiko Hastapadabhyam Taddik Swastikam Uchyate.
Whether it is in the sides or in the front, or wherever the hands and feet are hooked up tightly, it is called Diksvastikam. Abhinav Gupta says that the cross can be in all directions. It is to be performed without breaks. He adds that this proves that all the Karanas can be performed in all the directions.
Anena Madhye Nirupitena Sarvesham Karanana Itham Prayogam Anujanite.
So here the chari is again not specifically mentioned. Since the cross has to be continuously maintained, either Mattalli or a mere Agratala Sanchara with the crossing of the feet can be performed in a rounding fashion. And hands have to be just swastika hands. So the movement goes with just Agratala Sanchara alone. So we keep on turning in all directions. Dik swastikam. Swastikam in all directions.
Chaturding Mukheshu Trutitena Akriyate Iti Eva Shlishta Rupena.
Then Mattalli.
Tamna Tripulame. Appadiயும் பண்ணலாம்.
Mattalli chari. Because he is written it's continuous.
Yes.
Mattalli chari gives a
Flow.
continuous movement without removing the feet from the.
Trutitena without break.
And then Janita chari can also be used.
Where
Which
the
also-
cross is constant.
So that is also possible.
So in Janita, always the legs will be crossed.
Crossed.
No, not necessarily. Janita can be on the side also.
Yes.
But for the cross, you can use a Janitachari, but it's not always cross.
Here, Paduka has added one Rechaka. Till we turn behind, we have to keep on looking in the front. So we turn and then again turn, and so that it gives a focus, because it's a reeling movement. It helps us focus on one point and turn and finish in the same.
It can be a fast
Told,
turn.
Always focus at the center.
Yes, especially when you
should
have
not
whirling.
lose the focus while reeling.
And as a movement also, this look gives a very beautiful.
In Kathak, the chakkars and all, this is
Yes.
the measure of excellence.
This is what I mean by the jerk and the curve. You keep a jerk in front, turn and come back to the center
Once
point.
you had told Akka, you have to make it that every aspect of it is registered. The registering can happen only with the eye contact, and that needs enormous sattva.
Yeah.
Precision should not mean harshness. Many people think that to do precisely, very rudely, in a very aggressive way, they do it. And soberly means looseness or slackness will be taken as an equation for that. Soft but firm.
See,
This is
even in the case of Bharatanatyam, my guru, Valur Ramaya Pillai, he had a very special style. There was so much of grace in his style, and he was good in Abhinaya also. And in his style, he used to talk about the focus. Even for a simple adavu like tai, yum, ta, yum, ta, ta, you focus and you look, tai, yum, ta, ta, tai, te, dit, tai. That turn,
much of Netra Vinaya.
that turn with the brows going up and coming down. It can't stay there. It can't be staying like that. It will be owl's look.
Extraordinary.
So after turning, if you finish like that, it will be like as though, lo, I've finished this movement.
It's full
to
of
tell the audience, I
enrichment.
have finished this.
It's something like that.
Take it.
Making him know. And it's such a polite but affirmative way.
So, this is also why I'm saying is this is influence of my guru in that looking position, even in others.
You had told once, without the training in Valgur style, you couldn't have performed Karanas.
I couldn't
That's
tell.
what you had told.
I owe my grace to his style.
And even in all these Karanas, Paduka always mentions that for these Karanas, the look of the eye is very important. Yato Hastas Tato Drishti is very
She's
important.
given very beautiful interpretation to that. And that is the true meaning
Yes.
of that particular Nrtta Yogya Shloka, not Abhinaya Yogya. She had demonstrated in agency itself once.
Because it's a process, there is a fluidity in the movement. Unless the eye follows the hand, the fluidity is somehow interrupted somewhere. So it's very important to have the look.
The way of mind, the path of mind can be inferred better through eyes than through the other limbs. And so the course of mind is well proved through the movement of eyes.
Karana 17 Diksvastikam. In Satara, the Devi's figure has the feet and hands crossed with the body bent to the right. This shows the beginning of the turning. The figure of Shiva shows the process of reeling with the same feet variation. Both the figures indicate continuous whirling through either Mattalli or Samutsarita Mattalli or even Janitachari.
Alatakam should be good.
Yeah.
Alatam karanam kritva vyamsaye dakshinam karam urdhvajanu kramam kuryad alatakam iti smritam.
If the foot performs Alata,
Chari.
while the hand is moved from the shoulder, followed by Urdhvajanu. This is called Alatakam. Here Abhinavagupta says that the hand movement is Nitamba Hasta, Nitamba Nrtta Hasta,
Nitambhastam dakshinena rachayati. Right.
along with the Alatachari. The other hand is in Chaturashra posture, according to Abhinavagupta. And when the foot lands, the other foot is lifted as Urdhvajanu. So according to Abhinavagupta, the interpretation would be Alatachari with Nitamba Hasta on one hand
The right.
and
Nitamba.
finish with Lata and Urdhvajanu on the other leg.
He gives the sequence like this. Yojanatu dakshina padena alatam charim prayunjano dakshina hastena nitambam kritva chaturashrameva kuryat vamena padena urdhvajanam tato vamena api angena evamete api alatacharya yuktyoga. Like he goes on.
அதை மேலேந்து இல்லாம நித்தம்பமாவே பண்ண அல்லாத்தத்தை
Raise.
அவ்வளவுதான். இதான் நித்தம்பம்.
Nitambam Nrttasta. And he gives the application prayogaschasya lalita nritta vishaye. The graceful
It's for grace.
for Nitambachari, Nitamba Nrttasta is meant for such soft and tender movements.
There is one more interpretation. This is based on the Kumbakonam and Chidambaram figures. Both the hands can be used for Nitamba here. And because Bharata mentions hand is moved from the shoulder, so the Nitamba starts from near the shoulder with Alatachari and then finish with Urdhvajanu on the left with Dola Hasta. So the movement, according to Kumbakonam and Chidambaram figures, the movement will be Nitamba, Alata, Urdhvajanu and Dola Hasta. So this is one more interpretation. So either we use single hand or both
One
hands.
is the interpretation according to the book,
Yes.
other is according to the sculptures.
Yes.
And alata means a torch. And it is said in
Rounding
the
torch.
work of Gaudapadacharya, Paramaguru of Bhagavad Shankara, Alata Shanti Prakarana, when the torch is will
Round.
it will create a circle of light.
Circle of light.
So seamlessly, smoothly, and perfectly the chari should be done.
Karana number 18, Alatakam. The Satara Devi figure has the shank lifted backwards, showing the process of Alatachari. The hands depict the course of Apaveshtita. In Shiva's figure, we see the final posture of the movement with the left leg lifted in Urdhva Janu.
Then we have
Kati Samam.
Swastikapasritah padaha karau nabhikati stito parshum udvahitanchaiva karanam tat kati samam.
If the foot is released from a cross and the hands are kept on the navel and waist with the sides raised, it's called Kati Samam. This is what is given as the definition. Abhinavagupta interprets the cross and release of the foot as a performance of Akshiptachari,
Yes.
followed by Apakranta
Anantaram apakrantacharya.
and finish in Vaishnavasthana.
Yes.
And the hands are near the Katakamukam, near the navel.
Is Vaishnavam sthanancha atar katisamam tat bandar labhyate.
And the other hand is on the waist as Ardhachandra.
If
Here
I remember, I think I have danced both the interpretations of the Karana in the Karana Prakaranam DVD.
The first one is by following Bharata directly.
Ah.
This is with reference to Tanjavur and Kumbakonam sculptures, where just Mattalli or Samotsarita Mattalli can be performed, and do Apakranta and finish in Vaishnavasthana. This is according to Bharata's definition. If we follow Abhinavagupta, then we do Akshiptachari and then Apakranta and Vaishnavasthana.
And he even goes to the extent of taking hint chakarena karaucha swastika avadhrutau. Like that, the one subtle reference to chakara, it is for two joining together, that is swastika. For the mention of swastika is used chakara, like that. He goes to such a detailed way of looking at the text. In spite of such a detailed way of interpreting the text, multitude is always possible. Several ways of interpretations are possible.
நம்ம swastika use பண்றோமே.
That's what
Swastika.
swastika is being used. That's what Abhinavagupta takes that from the hint of chakara.
Here again, Paduka always says Tanjavur sculptures are closer to Bharata's interpretation. So that's seen here
That
also.
timeline is also conclusive there.
Karana number 19, Kati Samam. In Satara, we will see the Devi and Shiva figures. After performing Akshipta or Mattalli Chari, the cross is released through an Apakranta. This stage is shown in the Devi figures, both legs and hands. The right foot is in the process of regressing the action of Akshipta with the hands crossed and the torso bent on the left. The right knee is slightly above the left with the foot in perfect kunchita, almost close to the thigh. In Shiva's figure, the secondary hands show the transitory stage, while the primary hands and the feet depict the end of the action. We have Prambanan sculptures for this. In Prambanan, both figures 1 and 3 are holding the symbols. The right hand and right knee of figure 1 is missing. The head is tilted as Anchita to the left. The whole panel seems to represent Katisamam performed with the right leg. A part of the left shank and foot of figure 1 are seen. Left hand is holding a symbol and the waistline indicates end of Akshipta and beginning of Apakranta Charis. Figure 3 has its right foot placed as Agratala in the front. It has a symbol in its right hand near the chest with the left raised up near the shoulder. Figure 2 is seen with a perfect rhombus with the left foot slightly raised as for Additachari with the corresponding waist raised. The right side is Unnata. The right hand is on the waist and the left hand is stretched as Dola with the head tilted as Anchita on the left. The discovery of this sculpture has been an amazing proof for the authenticity of the practical reconstruction. At the end of the action of in Vaishnavasthana, we sometimes use the Additachari. So this Rechaka, which is used in the form of Additachari, is given a sanction in the Prambanan sculpture where the leg is seen codified in Additachari. So the Prambanan version has given an authentic sanction for the reconstruction.